attention had moved on to waving happily at the passing crowds who whistled, pointed, laughed, and catcalled. My cheeks felt like they were on fire. As soon as we finished crossing, I spotted a bike rack in the park. "Let's park here," I said, trying to sound casual but not convincing. "We could ride up into the festival," Dad said. I looked at the distant tents and vendors. "It'll be too crowded for bikes," I said hopefully. It worked. As I pulled a U-lock around my bike, Michael winked at me. "See," he said, "I don't have to lock this baby up because really, who would dare to steal such a noble beast?" Who would want to? Which was a shame because really, the ride back wouldn't be so bad with Michael running behind us instead of riding that awful bike. Michael took off his helmet and then put it on the smiling unicorn head, clipping it under the sparkly chin. The horn stuck out from one of those ventilation gaps. I turned away, rolling my eyes. I pulled my water bottle from the clip on my bike. It was covered in condensation, but already the water inside was warm and tasted like plastic. "Let's go," I said. But Michael stood on tiptoe in front of Dad. Michael seemed small, standing next to Dad, who had spent years operating machinery at construction sites. At first, I thought they were about to kiss or something, but then I realized Michael was fussing with his highlighted hair in the reflection of Dad's sunglasses. Dad kept turning his head so Michael would have to reposition his face, both of my dad's unshaven cheeks held in Michael's hands. If my own cheeks could have gotten any redder, I'm sure they would have. When Michael finished arranging his hair, Dad ran his fingers through his own hair until it stood out in wild brown curls. Then he pulled his Timberwolves hat over the mess, leaving it to stick out from under the edges. I ran my fingers through my own hair, which inherited Dad's dirt brown color, but not the curls. It was mostly limp and hung over my ears and forehead. Michael leaned in to whisper something to my dad. I looked away. It wasn't that I minded the fact that Dad dated guys. Sometimes he dated men, sometimes women. That was just the way it was. But still, we were in public, and some things are just too embarrassing to watch. "I'm walking," I said. "I'm going to the festival," which did the job of breaking them apart to follow me towards the crowds, tents, and vendors. As we walked away from the bikes, I could feel my pulse slow down a little. We flowed with the people down a brick street until the booths and trailers surrounded us. I figured it must be some sort of art festival. Besides the trailers selling funnel cake and roasted corn on the cob, most of the tents were full of paintings and glass sculptures and birch bark bowls and stuff. It was crowded, like everything in the city. Or maybe it just felt crowded because I was used to living with Mom in the middle of nowhere. "Oh, we have to stop there!" Michael pointed at a stand shaped like a giant lemon. "Festival lemonade is amazing! They load it with cherry syrup." "You drink that?" I asked. Not because it sounded bad, but because he usually only drank purified water and weird organic teas. "It's my one vice," he said. "Come on, Jeremiah, I'll buy you one." "I'm fine," I said. I brought a water bottle. I took another sip of the warm, plasticky water. "For reals," Michael said. "You need one. It's like drinking liquid radiance." "I'm fine," I said. We had to wait in line with Michael until he bought a gigantic lemonade. He took a long gulp, then held it out to Dad. Dad curled his lips around the straw. There was something kind of romantic about the way they leaned together to share the drink. It was surprising to see in Dad. "Yep," Dad said. "I feel radiant now." Michael held the cup out to me. I looked away and took another warm sip from my water bottle. We walked onward through the festival. We passed a bluegrass band, tents selling letterpress cards, blown glass ornaments, and handmade jewelry. I drifted a little behind Dad and Michael. Michael kept sipping from the giant cup of lemonade, pointing to this and that. Dad kept taking little sips too, and he was smiling in a way I hadn't seen him smile before. Just as I was starting to feel totally invisible, I saw a trailer selling cheese curds. I pulled Dad away from Michael, dug into my wallet, and bought him some. "Happy Father's Day," I said, handing him the carton of fried